Welcome back for another video. Who are the best players to buy for Gameweek 10? Let's break it all down by position and let's discuss the FPL landscape right now. We'll go goalkeepers first as always, and naturally the best defence in the league facing Burnley away is going to be the top this week. It's Raya on 4.2 points, top of the table. He's moved up as the second top scoring keeper overall after a 6th clean sheet in 9 games last game week. Only 3 goals conceded in 9 games is actually bonkers. Arsenal are conceding a big chance every 176 minutes right now, so basically 1 every 2 games, and likewise 167 minutes per XG conceded. Newcastle still sits second best for XGC on 7.33, Man City third with 9.1. Look at that though, Leeds are in 4th, Sunderland 5th after 9 game weeks. Absolutely mad numbers from the promoted teams. And what's also really alarming is Liverpool's drop off. Only Arsenal were better for that XGC metric last season, but this season after 9 games, Liverpool sit 12th. Burnley rock bottom of 18.5 expected goals conceded. Liverpool have now lost as many Premier League games this season as they did in the entirety of last season before. They've lost 4 consecutive league games for the first time since February 2021. Leno is second on the keepers table this week with 4 projected points versus Wolves home. Donnarumma, Verbruggen, Pope and Ruiz all tied on 3.7 points. Petrovic of course drops off the table for Gameweek 10 given that Bournemouth face Man City, but it's worth pointing out that as far as the next 5 projections he's on 17.3, which places him basically alongside those guys mentioned just now, so he's still a great pick. Hold him if you've got him. Defenders next. So Gabriel and Timber sit as the top 2 this week, but what's going on with Saliba and Calafiori then? Well, Saliba was forced off at half time as a substitution last game week. Arteta didn't really go into any detail, but we'll get the benefit of their game against Brighton, the League Cup on Wednesday, plus training photos and the Friday press conference to know what's going on there. Calafiori was also subbed off due to potential discomfort, but he seemed alright coming off. Again, we'll have to see what happens midweek. I wouldn't look to buy either of those 2 as it stands. Gabriel and Timber the best 2. Arsenal have gone 100 consecutive games in all competitions now without conceding 3 goals or more in a game. Just the second English league team to ever achieve that feat, along with Man United who did it between October 2016 and August 2018. That's 107 games Man United did it under Fergie. If it's still not invested in the Arsenal defence at this stage, what more stats do you need to hear to do it? Right now double defence is certainly doing better than double attack. Some have even gone for triple defence, which has actually reaped the rewards. The biggest talking point this week though is definitely going to be Palace, because it's the start of a great long-term fixture run, and if they do tick along, realistically you won't have to look to sell any Palace assets till the new year. The run is Brentford, Brighton, Wolves, Man United, Burnley, Fulham, Man City, Leeds, Spurs and then Fulham and so on. Munoz is 4th top for projected points over the next 5, but it is worth pointing out that a lot of us already tripled up on Arsenal, and it is only Gabriel, Timber and Saliba ahead of Munoz for the next 5. Therefore, he's actually top Munoz as far as the unlocked picks if you're not on triple Arsenal. 4 goal involvements in 9 games so far for him. He managed 10 in 37 last season. He is a premium though, of course, at 5.6 million. Some of us haven't got that kind of money, so what about other Palace defenders? Lacroix for 5.1 mil is great, but Richards at 4.5 mil has to be the best value pick in terms of points per million. I know Guehi's done exceptional with a few goal involvements, but I wouldn't expect that to continue. Lacroix is averaging 11.1 defcons per 90, Richards 10.8, not far behind. Senesi still leads with 12.76 defcons per 90 this season, and then it's Van Dijk, Mukiele and Anderson. So hopefully we get a positive update on Anderson, because he's really good to start next game week if he's available, which is suggested by Tete appearing 3rd on the table this week. Trippier's on 4.5 points, he's on the table, but you'll potentially only get a few games out of him before Livramento returns, so avoid him. Midfielders next. Salah's top this week, he's on 6.4 points, back on the score sheet last match, but ultimately a loss for Liverpool still. Liverpool just became the first team in Premier League history to win their opening 5 matches of the season and then go on to lose the next 4. 4 losses in a row in the league. What's also bizarre is that Chelsea, Liverpool and Man City all lost on the weekend. That's the first time Those three have lost in a game week since game week 15 back in 2015-16, so 10 years ago. It has been a season of anomalies for sure. So Salah now has 275 goals and assists combined in the Premier League for Liverpool. That's 187 goals, 88 assists, and that's one behind the record for a single club set by Wayne Rooney at Man United. He got 183 goals, 93 assists, but no doubt that record will be beaten very soon. Things will get very interesting if Liverpool can turn it around and Salah finds some form, because in Game Week 12 their run is Forest, West Ham, Sunderland and Leeds in succession. Though, as those expected data tables showed, perhaps we really need to firmly change our perspectives of teams facing against Leeds and Sunderland, given how well they're doing. They're being touted as potential triple captain weeks, in fact, because Haaland still has to face them both home. But perhaps West Ham home in Game Week 17 would be the best opportunity for those of us still sitting on the triple captainship. So just circling back to the Palace discussion again, Sarr looks like an incredible pickup this week. He's only 6.5 mil, he's got 4 returns and 7 starts, great underlying data to back it up as well. I mean, for even cheaper as well, the other one that has shown some promise is Minte for only 6 mil. He started every game this season, 3.22 XGI, just behind Sarr's 3.54. He's taken 14 shots, 13 of which were inside the box. He's even done well for DEFCON. He's created 3 big chances, and Brighton have got a lovely fixture on. Their next 6 are Leeds, Palace, Brentford, Forest, Villa and West Ham. Although he ultimately only hit DEFCON last game, Bruno massively passed the eye test. He had a really good chance as well against Brighton on Saturday, and it was met with a fantastic Verbruggen save. He ended up with 0.57 XGI. I'll be keeping the faith for now given Man United's fixtures, and likewise, if you've got Gordon, despite the frustrating blanks, he is on pens and he's still right up there this week as far as the Game Week 10 projections, which also suggests keeping the faith in him. Perhaps you make a call in Game Week 12 and Newcastle face Man City. The problem with Gordon, besides the blanks, is he's not getting 90 minutes anymore. The last 4 matches his minutes read 75, 69, 69 and 66. Gakpo's someone who's at the back of my head for that Liverpool fixture run from Game Week 12 I mentioned just now. He's on 4.7 non-penalty expected goal involvement this season, which is 4th overall in the entire league, and that's 2nd among midfielders. Non-penalty XGI is a very good metric because it's expected goals, expected assists, but it takes away the penalties, which can inflate expected data a lot. Obviously, we do love penalty takers, but we also love players that can get good stats without relying on penalties for output, and Gakpo ticks that box. You might recall in last week's Players To Buy video, in fact, the player cutout that we used in this midfielders section was Mbeumo, because his non-penalty XGI has been unbelievable, and of course he came away with a brace, so well done if you picked him up off that. He's not actually on the table this week in Mbeumo, he just barely misses out. He's on 4.4 points, but still an amazing pick as a long-term option. A few other names lastly to mention in terms of midfielders. Enzo's on 4.5, and Dai 4.2, Kudu's 4.2, and Semenyo 3.9. Onto the forwards lastly then. And it is Haaland of course on top, 6.7 points Haaland's on. Gyökeres second, who in fairness does have Burnley next, but yeah, that's 5 blanks in a row now. I mean, on paper, it's just not the week to sell him with a fixture like that. Like Burnley, rock bottom for expected goals conceded. They're rock bottom with the clean sheet odds this week, 10% chance. Hopefully, Gyökeres gets a rest in the League Cup midweek as well. Mbeumo is the most bought player this week currently. Mateta is second top. Now, João Pedro doesn't even make the table, which is another reason to consider that João Pedro to Mateta switch. João Pedro's had 0 shots on target in his last 5 Premier League games, with a total XG of 0.07. It really shows how dead the forward spots have been though, because much like Gyökeres, João Pedro has also blanked 5 games in a row now, and yet he's still the 3rd top scoring forward. Thiago is the 2nd top scoring forward, 45 points he's on, having scored an impressive 6 goals and 9, and he's on 3.9 projected points for the Palace away fixture. That's with an estimated 85 minutes. The curse of the most transferred in player continued as Voltemada blanked home to Fulham, who were missing Anderson as well, and yeah, he's still right up there in terms of the table this week, so a great asset all in all, don't worry about it. Who are you buying and selling this week? Let us know in the comments, and thank you as always for watching. Make sure you do hit subscribe, it's completely free. More daily content to come. See you soon for the next one.